What's up, riders? Old Man Ronin here. Welcome back to the channel. Yeah, I've got the old HWK textile jacket on today because it's 36 degrees out there. Whew, fall has definitely fallen. But with that comes the opportunity to answer a few questions. People ask me all the time, hey, I have a hard time starting the Himalayan when it gets colder. What do you do? Well, there's a method, and let me show you. Stay tuned. To engage the quick start of the cold start system, turn your key on and make sure all the lights have stabilized and all the numbers have stabilized. Then come on over here and kick off your kill switch, and you're going to hear your fuel pump go on. Let's do it again. Let's listen. Once that fuel pump has stabilized, look over here at this switch on your handlebar on your left-hand side. You'll notice there's a little bit of friction right here, but at the bottom of it, pulling it towards you, there's a lot of friction. Well, what you want to do is you want to hold that button down and then come over to your starter button. And then once it stops idling fast, because that's what it's going to do, release it back to that normal position. This is where you let the bike run at least 2 to 4 minutes. You should always, no matter what motorcycle you have, let it warm up in cold weather until you can't touch the pipe anymore. And then when that happens, flick this forward. And you should have no problem whatsoever, unless you pop the clutch. Hey, let's go for a ride now. Well, it's a beautiful day to be riding a motorcycle, albeit a little bit cold. Yeah, if you're dressed warm though, yeah, it's well worth the ride. I don't even have my adventure pants on today. I just got my insulated work pants and of course the HWK jacket, because I think it's about 42 or 43 degrees right now, maybe a little bit cooler, but not as cold as it was this morning. That's for doggone sure. But regardless, I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about how to cold start your bike. And you know, the Himalayan has some unique features, and that feature is this little quick start button on the upper handlebar. I equate it to like a choke, because it does similar things. It adds a little bit more richness to the fuel and to the burn, and then it lets it start up a little bit easier. Now, I have been told, even by our friends there at Royal Enfield of Columbus, that sometimes they're not hooked up properly. Mine was, so I didn't have to worry about it. But if you just read your manual, and if you do have trouble, like I said before, if you do have trouble with it, make sure you take it to your dealer and they can fix it, because the system is really awesome. It's like having a choke for your carburetor, and like I said, if you hold it down, the key is if you just pull it down and then start it and release it, it isn't going to work. What you have to do is you have to pull that button down and hit the starter at exactly the same time to engage it, and then after that happens, you can you know, it'll sit there and idle for a little bit, fast idle for a little bit, and then you can release it, and then it'll be a higher idle than normal until it warms up. And then after it warms up, like I say, after 2 to 4 minutes, something of that area, then you push it all the way back and you're good to go. Like I said, it's still cold as, not cold as it was this morning, but it's still cold out. And the bike is running fine. It's not stalling, because that's what a lot of people were saying. Hey, they're having some stalling issues. Well, if you do this quick start method, and man, they run forever. And that's one of the things that I think is so desirable about this bike, is the fact that it is like a tractor. It's like a four-wheel drive. It's just rugged and tough. I had somebody comment on my YouTube page the other day and it said it's like a pack mule. Well, yeah, it's like a pack mule. I mean, it hauls a lot of weight and it's tough as nails. But mine, I'm lucky, has not been stubborn. I think I'm the stubborn ass in that family. My wife will agree. But like I said, we'll go for a little ride today, talk a little bit about cold weather riding, which is coming up. I had somebody ask me on the website if I'm planning on doing chains on my bike, and I've said I sincerely hope not. If we get that kind of snow, I may be doing some garage stuff. I'll take it out a few times and ride in the snow with it. But as far as something that I'm going to do all the time, I don't think I'm going to do that. That's just not in the game anymore. I really hate riding with chains on a motorcycle. Now, it's possible, and you know, a lot of people do all over the world. It's just that I think that I'm probably not going to be that guy. But you can see we're going to some of our traditional areas and how beautiful a day it is, and I'm like the only motorcycle out today. It just again, a lot of people, when they don't have the proper cold weather equipment, they give up on the motorcycle, and this is some of the most fun times to ride. Just be aware that your tires are not going to be as grippy as they are when it's warmer out, and you have to ride a little bit before you start taking any corners at really high speed. I would suggest that if you're starting in cold weather riding and you've never done it before, slow down 5 miles an hour slower than you would anywhere else, unless you're going on a straightaway on a highway. But even then, your tires are not as grippy as they were in the spring and summer, and that is a critical failure a lot of people make. I mean, you will slide out, and if you get any gravel on the road at the same time, or any piles of salt that the salt trucks put out, or sand, or whatever they're using in your area, you'll realize that you'll end up sliding out. So, because your tires don't have the adhesion that they do in the summertime. But it's again, I'm still riding. We're here in mid-November now. This video will come out on a Wednesday, I'm thinking. Either that or a Sunday. That's the 2 days that I primarily turn the videos out, and it seems to be working for us. We're over 1,200 subscribers now, which makes me very happy, and I owe it all to you. Again, this is kind of like the second video since we've hit 1,000, and we've already jumped to 1,200, and maybe by Wednesday or Sunday it'll be 1,500. Who knows? But I do know that I enjoy talking to you guys on comments. I know some of my comments are longer than yours, and that's okay. I'm kind of wordy, if you haven't guessed that by now. But you know, the fun part about motorcycling is it's a family. I consider all motorcyclists part of my family. Now, I have some idiot uncles, if you know what I mean. They like to badmouth stuff that they don't really know about, and that's cool. You just accept them as who they are. You know, everybody has a crazy uncle, and in the motorcycle world we do too, but they're still our family, no matter what they say. Because I consider it the motorcyclists versus the cars. The cars, or the cagers is what we call them. They don't pay attention to too much of things out there. They're always on their phones, and they're always doing distracted driving, and that's dangerous for us motorcyclists. And I'd rather see more motorcycles on the road and less cars, because I'd rather have more of us than them. But again, that's something that we strive for every day. That's why I preach the gospel of motorcycling. That's why I'm addicted to motorcycles for the beginning. I have been my entire life since I was 6 years old, and that's one thing I want to share with you people, the love and the joy that I have and I give riding motorcycles. There was nothing more exciting in my life than to have my wife learn how to ride a motorcycle, and our daughter how to ride a motorcycle. That was exciting. My sons, I want to get them into motorcycling as well too, but they've got their own stuff going on right now, and they rode when they were younger with me, but they kind of got away with it. They got you know, distracted by other things, but hopefully someday they'll come back to roost, and we'll all be able to ride all as one big happy family. It'd be a cool little biker gang, the Ronin gang. But until then, we want to keep preaching the word of motorcycle. You know, St. Harley and St. Royal Enfield say, along with St. Triumph and St. Honda, they all say the same thing: thou shalt ride thy motorcycle, and it'll be a blast. The next thing on the agenda is we're going to start doing some modifications to the Royal Enfield here pretty soon. Well, a little bumpy road there. I should have probably stood up. So we're going to start doing some modifications to the motorcycle pretty soon. I've got some parts coming in. I already have some parts in, but again, I want to wait till the really bad weather happens. That way I'm not wasting any days that I could be riding, because you know, it's much better to ride. I love wrenching, but I like riding better. Oh, what a beautiful day. Look at this sunshine. Isn't it amazing? I think we'll go on a gravel road up here too, because I like to ride in gravel in cold weather as well too. Not going as fast. Oh, look, there's Bigfoot. Hope you all see him. In Ohio, we call it the Ohio Grassman. I don't know because the guys who first spotted it were high or not. I don't know. But it seems to be that way with me. I've never seen one, and I've lived in the country my whole life. But hey, I don't doubt that people see what they want to see. Boy, this bike is just a fun bike to ride. Well, we're going to go on this gravel road once again because I really love riding this road. This is a lot of fun. We have a lot of gravel roads around here, but this one is more like a trail than it is a road, and so it always pleases me to go on this route. So we're back on her. We usually come the other direction though, but yeah, it's I wanted to see how she was too because of the weather, see if it was a little muddy or not. But I'm sure there's some standing water or ice laying. Maybe not ice anymore today, but there was a been last night. But yeah, again, like I say, 30-35 mile an hour on a road like this is about as much as you want to do. Looks like the gravel got moved to the center and the sides, so like I said, it looks like it washed out a little bit. But that's just the way it is. I hope the strobing from the sun isn't bothering you too much. Boy, this thing is just like a tractor though. You put her down a gear and she just goes. I'm running about 3,500, 4,000 RPM, which is right in its wheelhouse as far as torque. It loves that. It loves that RPM band right there, up to 5,000. This is a blind top of a hill. You never know what you're going to find on the other side of it, in the middle of a corner. I love the big rocks. I love that. This part of Ohio has a lot of giant boulders that stick out the side of a hill, and it just reminds me of home. Every time I see that anywhere in the country or the world for that matter, it reminds me of home. Well, I think we're going to end the video today, and I really hope you enjoyed me making it. It was kind of a beginning how-to on how to cold start or quick start your engine in colder weather. And like I said, a lot of people aren't really familiar with that switch system that we had on your handlebar over here, and hopefully I answered a few questions. And if you have some issues with it and you still can't get it to work, like I said, call your local Royal Enfield dealer, and I guarantee you they'll fix you right up, because it is a common mistake that a lot of people make on not knowing how to cold start it. And even if it's not quite working right, they will fix it for you and get it running straight. Well, again, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you give us a big thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. Hit that bell notification button. Make sure you share and comment. As I said before, we read all the comments and comment on all the comments. Until next time, ride safe and keep her on two wheels, baby.